This is Rebekah Winsor, and she is one energetic 7-year-old.
I love my family this much.
But 2 years ago, she had a headache. And in the end, this headache would change her life forever.
We had a trampoline set up in the backyard. Kids always wanted to go on it. She came in before everybody else did. That was strange.
She said, "Mom, it really hurts." So I laid her here on the couch and I put a cold cloth on her head.
We checked her afterward and she was not really responding.
So he picked her up and brought her out to the van. And before he put her in, she threw up on him. And we flew over to the hospital. I ran in, I said, "There's something wrong with her. We don't know what's going on. We don't want to do a scan here because the one in the Janeway is better."
So they packed up and left their hometown of Little St. Lawrence. And what they thought might be a short stay at the Janeway turned into a scary 2 months for this family. Rebekah needed emergency brain surgery.
We had a surgeon come out and he said, "She has a brain bleed, and if we don't do surgery, she will die."
It was beyond what the realm of what her father or any of the adults could actually do for the youngsters. And that's the worst thing.
Well, she had a big blood clot in the right side of her brain, affecting specifically the part of her brain that moves the left side. So we had her put to sleep, and then we had to take off a big part of her skull and take out that blood clot, look for the source of the blood clot, remove that. We also left a little drain in afterwards to drain some of the fluid before she went to intensive care.
She made it out. We went in to see her. I was like, oh man, her hair was gone. There was tubes everywhere. Her face was so swollen, she looked like somebody else's kid.
After the surgery, Rebekah remained in critical condition and was kept in a coma to try to stabilize her.
Anyway, the surgeon came out and he said, "She's not out of the woods." It was a big bleed. There was a big area. She'd been bleeding in her brain for hours. In the next 24 hours, she will get very sick.
It was a parent's worst nightmare. But after a week of monitoring her condition, the doctors and nurses at the Janeway began to try and wake her.
Her eyes were still closed. She was just laying there, and she let out the big old yawn, and she did the with it, and I lost it. I cried to break my heart. It was like the best day of my life, as Becca would say.
Now that she was awake, the recovery was just beginning for this brave young girl.
During the first approximately week, things were very, very critical. And then eventually she was able to come off of her ventilatory support, which is a respirator, and gradually go up to the regular surgical floor for further treatment.
After additional surgeries, including another operation to help her see, Rebekah would have to learn how to do everything again. Walk, dress herself, even swallow.
First day, she stood on her 2 feet. Holy cow. Physio for her was, "Okay, well, let's see if we can straighten your leg." And she'd screech the whole time. They knew Becca was in physio because you could hear her. She had a lot of rough days, but a lot of good days. And actually, you know what? No matter how bad it was, how much pain, she was always so happy.
Well, it's 2 years later now, and she has pretty much made a complete recovery at this point.
Becca's like any other typical 7-year-old. She loves to play outside. She loves playing with her friends. She loves drawing and singing. And
she's playing like she used to. She's rough housing with the boys like she used to. She's pretty much back to what she was before.
You got to believe that the Janeway and their staff and their medical team and all that are going to help, and you just got to believe it.
Well, the doctors, the nurses, the staff, everybody, even down to the dietitians, they work around children. That's what they do, and they're wonderful with them. They're wonderful with their families. And, like, you come first.
They saved her, and we're here. The Janeway's an amazing place.
They saved my life.
They totally did.